bright in here. So bright. I look so white. Whatever. Okay. Anyways, so this semester I am helping out in the first year coaching class, which is super cool. So I was a little nervous at first taking on a leadership role, but it's been going really well so far. And it's certainly been reassuring that I have actually internalized a lot of skills over the past year. That said, I was also super impressed with the class. They're all in their first and second semesters, but they had great skills already. I think they're better than I was when I was in the same position. Don't tell them that though. I don't want them to know. Anyways, one of the main things that really struck me about this group when I was with them this week was the stage that I came to them at. So I never actually talked about this when I myself was in coaching, but one of the big things we learned was the different stages that a group will typically cycle through. And those stages are forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning, which is just adjourning. So this scheme for classifying group stages was developed by a man named Bruce Tuckman in 1965, and it is widely believed that this is actually a universal model and that all groups will go through these stages, regardless of their members, what the goal of the group is, culture, demographic, location, anything, which is pretty cool to think. I have gone through it several times since I've been at Rhodes. Every single semester we get a new group of students and we have a lot of practice rotating through all of these stages of the group. So let's go over what all of the stages are. Stage 1. Forming. This is when the group members are all first coming together to form the group, and it is characterized usually by a lot of anxiousness and uncertainty. Group members tend to be more cautious and polite, and they're getting to know one another, and productivity in this stage is pretty low because people aren't really fully coming forward yet. But then we get to stage 2, storming. This is when conflict and competition are at their highest. Group members now understand what tasks need to be accomplished. They understand who the rest of the members in the group are, and they have decided where they themselves fit in that group and what role they should take on, regardless of whether or not everybody else agrees that that's the role that that person should be taking on. This is when the dominant members of the group come forward, and the more quiet members of the group who are less confrontational do take a back seat. Everyone is looking for clarity on leadership, rules, responsibility, and structure, and these need to be determined before the group can move on to the next stage. Groups can be pretty stormy for a while sometimes. There was one semester at Rhodes, we stormed the whole time, the whole 3 months. It was the worst. I probably did learn the most about myself in that semester, but I still was really happy when it was done. Most groups, however, do move on, thank goodness, and they make it to stage 3, which is norming. This is when the group has more clarity and they're calm and they're functioning as a cohesive unit. Morale is really high and all of the group members are acknowledging the skills and the talents of the other group members. Overall, there's a nice sense of community, leadership is shared, and there is a lot of interdependence, trust, and flexibility, which means then they are able to move into stage 4, performing, which is like the golden stage of groups. There's structure and there's productivity, and everybody is working hard to accomplish shared goals. It's really easy to be in the group at this time, and people can even join and leave the group without it being too tumultuous. And the final stage is adjourning. There's a really nice sense of accomplishment here, but there can also be sadness and maybe even a little bit more storming as people get ready to leave the group, and some people handle that differently than others. So sometimes conflict actually rises again a little bit before everyone disbands. So the class that I am TAing with now is a little bit stormy, which is totally normal for the second week of the semester. The power dynamics are certainly needing to be sorted out. And this is going to sound kind of evil, but it's actually fun and interesting to watch from being outside the group. Usually I'm right in it. I've been in it so many times, and it sucks when the group is storming. But now that I get to just watch it, be like a fly on the wall, it's like really interesting. I can tell that there's some peacekeepers in the group who are maybe getting a little worried that the group is all angry and they're falling apart and it's not going to work out. I just want to be like, it's okay. This is totally normal. Don't even worry about it. I just won't tell them about my perpetually stormy semester. That wouldn't be very encouraging. Anyways, that is all I have for you today for a little lesson with a touch of insight. So the next time you are in a group or leading a group, keep these stages in mind. And when you are 2 weeks in and you think that everyone sucks and that the group is falling apart, just keep calm and carry on. Know that this is completely normal and things should get better soon. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week.